Hey guys! In today's video, I'll be reviewing the top 8 best racing steering wheel for PC. I made this list based on my personal opinion, and I tried to rank them based on their quality, durability, customer reviews, and more. If you want to know about the best pricing and more information, you can check the description links below. Number 8 in my list is Thrustmaster T-GT Racing Steering Wheel for PC. The Thrustmaster T300 RS and TX listed above are the default enthusiast racing wheels from Thrustmaster, and they're some of the best around. There's now an even more expensive T-GT, but as that costs £699/$799, it's out of reach for most budgets. What makes the Thrustmaster T300 RS and its brothers so easy to recommend is the new force feedback system. It's not geared, using a series of belts instead, powered by brushless motors. This gives it the perfect combo of power and smoothness, for a sense of realism and immersion you can't really beat at the price. Any force feedback wheel adds a whole new dimension of fun to reasonably realistic racing games like Forza Motorsport and Drive Club. But at these price, the Thrustmasters are the obvious choice. There's a little gnawing rumble as you fight against the wheel, which is the feel of the motor working, but it's otherwise great. Number 7 in my list is Thrustmaster TX leather racing steering wheel for PC. Between entry-level wheels using a motor-driven system and the enthusiast's choice of a direct drive motor, Thrustmaster offers its TX racing wheel with a dual belt setup as the perfect middle ground. A brushless motor sits inside the servo, and the wheels are easily interchangeable if you prefer a different shape to the standard circular design. Our Thrustmaster TX Leather Edition review explains how the hand-stitched leather feels super smooth and comfortable for extended gameplay sessions. It's a nice upgrade from the D-shaped wheels found on other models and makes for an incredible drifting experience in games that support it. The gear shifting paddles are excellent, with great tactile feedback without making too much noise. The servo is chunkier than others, but it can sit comfortably on a desk without slipping around during moments of intense force feedback. It will shake more than an entry-level wheel, so a cockpit is naturally better suited to the TX. But a table clamp is an acceptable option if that's all you can use. If you're looking for a super smooth racing experience without breaking the bank on a direct drive wheel, the TX is perfect. Number 6 in my list is Logitech G29 Racing Steering Wheel for PC. For the entry-level racer, I'm going to recommend the Logitech G920 or G29. Either will do because they're basically the same wheel. The former is for the Xbox, the latter for the PlayStation, and both are PC compatible. If you're only doing racing and the like on the PC, you can go with either, but I will say the Logitech wheel has more buttons and knobs, making it the slightly better choice. It's a minor difference though. Either way, you're getting a well-built racing steering wheel with primarily metal construction and a stitched leather wrapping. The 900 degrees of wheel rotation will handle anything short of a big rig racing simulator, and the force feedback is perfectly adequate. There are a few shortcomings. For one thing, the wheel diameter is less than 10.5 inches, meaning this racing wheel feels somewhat toy-like compared with the real thing. Or, indeed, some of the later wheels I'll mention. The bigger problem, however, is with the pedals. The brake pedal uses a potentiometer, a means of digitally detecting the degree of rotation. Potentiometers work well for the throttle and clutch pedal, but the hydraulic brakes in a real car work not based on how far you press the pedal, but how hard. Since potentiometers only measure movement, accurately modulating the brakes can be a challenge. Logitech attempted to replicate the feel of a load cell by limiting the travel of the brake pedal, but if anything that just reduces precision. Really though, at this price, that's the only fly in the ointment. The Logitech G920 and G29 are excellent wheels for a great racing experience. Plenty of pro-level racers use them, which is about as good a vote of confidence as you can get. I raced with a G27 for years, and if $400 is outside of your budget, I'd highly recommend hitting up eBay for a used G27 or even a used G25. They're largely the same wheel, and a healthy modding community will ensure that they'll work for years to come. Number 5 in my list is Logitech G920 Racing Steering Wheel for PC. This Xbox One wheel is super smooth and feels superb to drive as a PC steering wheel too. It's ergonomic, though keep in mind that any wheel will make unaccustomed hands sore after a few hours, and pleasantly slimline, while retaining a good solid feel. Aside from the same handbrake as a button problem as the Thrustmaster offerings, a unique area of consternation is the pedals. The unit we tried features an unusually stiff brake pedal, requiring immense pressure to get the brakes to engage. Reviews on Amazon suggest other people have the same criticism, something that isn't true of the 4 pounds equivalent G29. You can usually reassign the brakes to the clutch pedal, which is included as standard on this wheel, but that's not ideal if you're a serious racing fan. Things are improved somewhat if you mount the pedals properly on a racing seat or on non-slip flooring like carpet, but it really shouldn't be quite so stiff. Brakes aside, this is an otherwise exemplary force feedback steering wheel and one that will make any racing game more enjoyable, if not necessarily easier to play. Number 4 in my list is Thrustmaster TMX Racing Steering Wheel for PC. Cheap racing wheels are easy to come by. Cheap racing wheels worth your money are not. Thankfully, we once again can turn to Thrustmaster for an option here. The TMX isn't as flashy as most. You're really trimming back to basics. The pedal set is pretty slim with just 2 unexciting levers on a plastic base, and the wheel itself features only the absolute basic buttons you'll need to operate it in-game and nothing more. It's slim to the bare essentials, but really that's what we want at this price. That's because what really matters is the force feedback within, and the TMX shares its belt pulley system with the popular T150. It's definitely a less powerful system than the other Thrustmaster and non-Thrustmaster systems on this list, but it's present enough that you'll be thankful it's there. With the TMX, you can be sure you're making a good start in your sim racing career, and if it ends up in a cupboard most of the year, you won't feel too much regret thanks to its bank-friendly price tag. Number 3 in my list is Logitech G923 Racing Steering Wheel for PC. We've extensively tested the Logitech G923 TrueForce Racing Wheel and found it to offer a desirable mixture of control, feedback, and response. For that reason, it is decently suited to most racing games out there. It's the racing wheel we'd recommend to rookie drivers and those looking for thrills and find themselves often hopping between different and varied sims. We've spent most of our time using the G923 with F1 2022 and F1 2023, and it works excellently with only a few tweaks to steering saturation and throttle linearity. Similarly, it's as simple as booting Assetto Corsa Competizione to switch to GT Series Racing, or any other driving game for that matter, even Snow Runner. The G923 relies on a gear-driven motor to feed the force feedback, which is enjoyable in use, but a little less powerful and accurate feeling than those belt-driven or direct-driven designs above. The best bit about the G923 package is that it's more than a racing wheel and wheelbase. It's a set of 3 pedals, too, and excellent ones at that. I was pretty taken aback at the quality of these pedals the first time I used them. They have all the makings of higher-end pedals where it counts. The accelerator delivers a decent linear press with a quick return to keep it glued to your foot, while the clutch brings a similarly swift response with increasing tension as you depress the pedal, enough to create a fox bite point. The brake pedal, however, is the highlight of the 3. Number 2 in my list is Thrustmaster T300 RS Racing Steering Wheel for PC. The Thrustmaster T300 RS sat as our one pick for the best racing wheel for a few years. It's a little older now, having originally been released in 2022, but it's still plenty deserving of consideration in 2023. The T300 RS has aged better than a lot of modern tech, with mods and support aplenty. Though with the arrival of the T248, we felt it hit a cheaper price point that would appeal to a wider audience than the standard T300 RS. The T248 also comes with a far superior pedal set in the T3 PM. That's why we've updated our recommendation to the T300 RS GT edition, which has all the best bits of the T300 RS plus an improved 3-pedal set that makes it sing. You will have to drop a little more cash on the T300 RS GT edition, but we felt the T3PA pedals make that leap more worthwhile. They're still not quite up to the T3PM set on the T248, but they're a much improved set than on the T300 RS's standard, which also lacks a clutch pedal. Number 1 in my list is Thrustmaster T248 Racing Steering Wheel for PC. The Thrustmaster T248 is a far more budget-friendly option than the Fanatec GT-DD, but it doesn't let up where it counts. The force feedback it delivers is a lot more impressive than you might expect, and it's exceptionally accurate. Inside the T248, you'll find a hybrid force feedback system that utilizes a gear alongside a belt. That covers the downsides of the geared system, which has been known to feel clunky at times but still has all the benefits of a belt system. Plus, that keeps it cheap. However, the T248's hybrid system has appeared to come at the expense of some of the finer touches. The build looks and feels cheap. Similarly, it's awfully loud, especially the shifter paddles. These are, however, incredibly responsive, like nothing I've used before. A worthy trade-off, so long as you don't need to keep the noise down too much. What Thrustmaster is delivering with the T248 is the Thrustmaster Hybrid Drive. It's not precisely gear or belt driven, but there is a belt to maximize the internal motor's potential in-game. The hybrid drive feels like a smart move on Thrustmaster's behalf once you get this wheel set up too. As compared to a purely gear-driven motor, there's a lot of power and response delivered through the wheel while racing. Alright guys, this was our today's video. If you find this video helpful for you, then like the video, and if you come to our channel first time, then hit the subscribe button for our amazing upcoming videos. Be sure to check out the links in the description for the updated price of all products discussed in this video. Hope you have a great day and see you soon in the next video.